Good morning everyone. Today we'll be studying embryology of human eye. The development of eye starts on 22nd day of gestation when embryo has 8 pairs of somites and is about 2 millimeters in length. It involves ectoderm, neural crest cells and mesenchyme. On day 22, two small grooves develop on each side of developing forebrain in the neural fold, and these are known as optic grooves or optic sulci. As neural tube closes, these grooves become out pockets and are called optic vesicles. The optic vesicles extend from the forebrain towards the surface ectoderm to the adjacent mesenchyme. As the optic vesicles grow towards the ectoderm, their connections to the forebrain becomes attenuated to form optic stalks, which will eventually become optic nerves. The portion of each optic vesicle that interacts with surface ectoderm induces that area of ectoderm to form a thickening called lens placode, which is precursor of the lens. The lens placode invaginates to become a lens pit, which soon forms a complete circle that pinches off from surface ectoderm and forms lens vesicle. These are the pictures, cut sections, transverse sections of the brain development showing formation of the lens placode. The developing optic vesicle and the stalk have a groove on the inferior surface, and it is called the optic or the choroidal fissure, through which blood vessels gain access to the optic cup as well as to the lens vesicle. The blood vessels are the hyaloid artery, branches of ophthalmic artery and its accompanying vein. The choroidal fissure will eventually fuse, completing the eye wall inferiorly and enclosing the vessels in a canal in the optic stalk. When lens matures later on in fetal life, the distal end of hyaloid artery will disintegrate and its proximal end will persist as central retinal artery. However, if the choroidal fissure fails to fuse, it leads to the formation of coloboma of uvea. This is diagram showing various stages of development of human eye. Now let's see again what we have studied till now. Each portion of optic vesicle that interacts with the surface ectoderm induces that area of ectoderm to form thickening called lens placode, which is precursor of the lens. The lens placode invaginates to become lens pit. This is formation of lens pit, which forms a complete circle that eventually pinches off from the surface ectoderm to become lens vesicle. At the same time, you can see the formation of cornea and the optic vesicle also invaginates to form a double layer structure called the optic cup. Also, lids are being formed in further stage from the surface ectoderm itself. Now in lens, lens. The posterior part of the lens vesicle transforms into elongated, slender primary lens fibers. These new cells fill in the previously hollow structure, and about 4 weeks later, more lens fiber develop, and this time from the anterior wall of the lens vesicle, and these are known as the secondary lens fibers. The various parts of nucleus develop during various times of gestation. The fetal nucleus is formed between 3rd to 8th month, infantile from last week of fetal life to puberty, adult nucleus after puberty, and the cortex fibers are the superficial fibers of adult lens. Lens capsule is true basement membrane produced by the lens epithelium on its external aspect. The two layers of optic cup will further differentiate into retina of mature eye. The two layers are of unequal size. The outer one is thinner than the inner one. The optic cup can be divided into two portions, the anterior 1/5 rim and the posterior 4/5. The rim area will ultimately form the iris and ciliary body, and the posterior 4/5 will form the retina. The outer layer of posterior 4/5 will form the pigment layer of retina, and the inner one will form the neural retina, and these two layers are separated by intraretinal space. At about 6 weeks, the cells in the posterior aspect of inner layer of optic cup becomes more complicated process. The cells immediately adjacent to the intraretinal space begin to differentiate into photoreceptors, that is rods and cones. The next layer of cells will become the molar supporting cells and the bipolar neurons. The innermost superficial layer will develop into axons of ganglion cells, which will make up the optic nerve. The ganglion cell fibers gradually fill the lumen of optic stalk as it becomes the optic nerve. By 8th month, all the layers of retina are laid down, but the maturation of photoreceptors continues after birth, which explains why visual acuity of child continues to improve as he grows. This is section of a 7-week embryo. The primordium eye is embedded completely in the mesenchyme, and the fibers of neural retina converge towards the optic nerve. As I explained in the development of retina, that the anterior rim of optic cup gives rise to epithelium of iris and ciliary body. The anterior part of this inner layer forms the non-pigmented layer of iris and ciliary process epithelium. The outer layer of optic cup in this region contributes the pigment epithelial layer. A few folds in the anterior aspect of optic cup, and this forms the ciliary processes. The stroma of iris and ciliary body develop from neural crest that migrate into the area. Within the stroma, sphincter pupillae and dilator pupillae muscles develop from optic cup neuroectoderm. In contrast, the ciliary muscle is derived from the overlying mesenchyme. During 6th and 7th weeks, the mesenchyme that surrounds the external surface of optic cup condenses into two layers: an inner pigmented vascular layer, that is the choroid, and the outer fibrous layer called the sclera. The mesenchyme that is anterior to the developing lens splits into two layers that surrounds the newly formed anterior chamber of the eye. The inner layer is continuous with the choroid and is called the iridopupillary membrane, and the outer layer is continuous with the sclera. The outer layer will form the stroma of cornea. The corneal epithelium develops from surface ectoderm and endothelium from the neural crest cells. The iridopupillary membrane eventually disappears completely, which allows communication between anterior and posterior chamber. The eyelids also form in the 6th week from neural crest cells and surface ectoderm just anterior to the cornea. These begin as two folds of skin that meet over cornea, and they are attached to one another until 27th week when they separate. While they are adherent to one another, there is a conjunctival sac between the eyelid and the cornea. The orbicularis oculi, which is formed within the lids, forms from the second branchial arc along with the other muscles of facial expression and will be innervated by the fifth nerve fibers. The vitreous body forms in the center of the optic cup posterior to the lens, and it is comprised of gel-like substance called vitreous humor, which is derived from the mesenchymal cells of neural crest. Later on, more vitreous humor is added, which is added from the neuroectoderm of the optic cup. Now let's summarize from which part what structure derives. From neuroectoderm, we have pigmented epithelium of retina, sensory retina, optic nerve. Important to remember, we have iris sphincter and dilator muscles from neuroectoderm and a part of vitreous from it. From mesenchymal tissue, blood vessels, corneal stroma, endothelium, stroma of choroid, ciliary body and iris, ciliary muscles, sclera, optic nerve sheath, extraocular muscles, eyelid. Now let's go through the timeline of eye development. We all know eye development starts on day 22. On day 25, the optic vesicles evaginate and neuron crest cells begin to migrate. Now there can be various congenital anomalies during this period like cryptophthalmos, microphthalmos and megalocornea. On day 28, the optic vesicles induces lens placode formation from surface ectoderm, and congenital anomaly occurring during this period is Peters anomaly. On day 33, the embryonic fissure closes and lens separates completely from the cornea. Failure of embryonic fissure to close leads to formation of coloboma, and other congenital anomalies that can occur during this period are Peters anomaly, anterior segment dysgenesis and aniridia. During 5th to 7th week, the neural crest cells migrate. There are waves of mesenchymal cells which migrate to form the anterior segment structures. During 3rd month, the eyelid folds meet and fuse. In 4th month, the retinal vessels grow into the nerve fiber layer near the optic disc. Bowman's layer and scleral spur are formed, and axons are present in the optic nerve. During 5th month, the eyelids begin to separate and cones begin to differentiate, and anomalies occurring in this period are ankyloblepharon, which means inability of the lids to separate, or there can be foveal hypoplasia. During 7th month, the myelination of optic nerve begins and rods begin to differentiate. In 8th month, adult number of axons are present in the optic nerve, and by 9th month, retinal vessels reach retinal periphery. Now, if a child is born prematurely, that is before 36 weeks, the retinal vessels reach only the nasal half of the retina and doesn't reach the temporal half, which usually completes by 40 weeks, and this is known as retinopathy of prematurity. This was all about the embryology of eye. Hope you enjoyed the lecture. Feel free to ask your queries. Thank you.